What's up, queens? I want to welcome you back to this awesome series that I have been, in, and it's called Tips on How to Win at Sex. No, I am not talking about tips on actual sex, like the bedroom type tips, but I'm talking about tips on how to live a life of sexual integrity. Yes, because that is how you win at sex. Real quick, let's do a recap. Sexual integrity is this: being honest with your body, doing things with your body that tells the truth. Sex is an act of commitment. Okay, when you have sex with someone, what you're doing is you're telling them that I am committed to you. The body, the chemical makeup, everything that happens when you have sex, it's all geared toward a long lasting committed relationship, right? And when you have sex with someone you are not actually committed to, you are not married to, what you're doing is you're lying to them, you're lying to yourself, you're lying to God, you're lying to the people around you. And lies are like cancer. They start silently and they work their way all around your body from the inside out. It affects everything that you do. So we want to live a life of sexual integrity. And let me just say, I've been on this journey for a while now. I really started to take sex more serious at about age 22. So that's 8 years ago. Do the math, okay? And let me tell you, on this journey, it has been a journey. I have not always been perfect on this journey, but I have been progressing. And this is why I'm even doing this series, so I can get you on board, so I can give you tips, teach you things that I've learned along the way and am still learning, so that you can live a life of sexual integrity, so that you can get the best out of sex. Because if you're having sex right now and you're using it outside of how God created it, which is between a husband and a wife in a beautiful marriage, you're not getting the best out of sex. You're actually not getting much at all. The only thing you've learned about your body is that it works. And the pleasure that you may think that you're feeling ain't really pleasure at all in comparison to what God has in store for the true worshiper, one who worships him with his body. We're about to get to that today. So today's tip is this: keep your clothes on. Yes, this is kind of a bit in continuation of last week's tip. Make your private parts private again. And I wanted to go this way because I am reminded of a specific encounter or situation that I was in when I was dating a guy in my very early 20s. I was in this relationship. Let me just say, that's a whole nother conversation, okay? Because there's a right way to date and a wrong way to date. And what I was doing was wrong, girl. I had no purpose. I had no intentions. I thought he was fine and beautiful, so I just said, let's go for it. And I was there for 4 years too long. But go on to my other videos. You can get in on a little bit of stuff like that. But listen, I remember this one thing in particular. I was really heart heavy, wanting to pursue sexual integrity. We were both, we knew about God and we were saved and all that stuff, but we just didn't set ourselves up for success at all. And I believe my heart was a little bit more in tune with this journey than he was. But of course, along this walk, I'm talking to him, he's talking to me. I'm like, all right, we gonna do for real, we gonna do better, okay? Because I ain't got time for this. I know my life has purpose and all that stuff. I just know how much purpose it was. But anywho, it was this one particular situation. I was in my bedroom. Now, ding, 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 ring, ring, ring. Why was I in my bedroom with a guy all by myself? I don't know. But that's another tip that we're going to talk about. But I was in my bedroom and I think I was changing. And he saw me changing my clothes. And when he saw me, I'm just putting my clothes on. I think my legs were exposed or something like that. And after that encounter, he was like, don't do that. If we gonna do this, if we gonna protect ourselves and, live a life of sexual integrity, don't change in front of me. And at that time, when you're just living life and you're just in situations, you don't realize your actions and how much it impacts somebody else, right? We talked about how, keeping your private parts private is so important, because when you expose your private parts, it sends out a call. It sends out a call for someone to be intimate with you. And me knowing that now, I didn't know that back then. So he was saying, when I see your body, it gets me sexually aroused. Makes sense, right? Because I was sending out a call to him to say, hey, come on over, come be intimate with me. Going back to tip number 4 to get in on that a little bit more. Okay. So yes, he said, don't do that. Don't do that. And so, of course, fast forward years later and all that stuff, I'm realizing, yeah, keep my clothes on. Because when you keep your clothes on, it's a barrier from you even falling in, pursuing, like really giving yourself into sexual immorality, sexual sin. Now, it may sound real simple, but it's a big help for us who are used to just doing whatever we want to do sexually. Listen, your body, if you've been engaging in sex, your body has already been awakened to the act, to the feeling, to the dopamine highs. What that means is when you do something pleasurable, your body sends out hormones that says, "Ooh, I like that, do it again." So it attaches this good feeling to that action. So this is one of the reasons why when people are having sex, it's hard for them to stop because they've trained their body to do it. They've trained their body to say, yeah, 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 keep doing it. We like that. We like that. And so when you see things that remind you of sex, it triggers that release of a good hormone feeling. It triggers a hormone to be released that gives your body a good feeling. So it makes you even want to pursue that thing even more just so you can get that good feeling. Okay? So our bodies are trained for this. And if you're trying to go the opposite way, if you're trying to train your body to do something different, you need to protect yourself. You need to put barriers in place. You got to set yourself up for success. And one of the ways to do that, keep them clothes on, girl. I didn't realize how unloving I really was towards him when I was exposing my different body parts. I didn't have intentions to be to arouse him sexually, but just even the exposure of things that's not, readily available, not really exposed in your everyday life, like your booty, your thighs, and all that stuff, all that good stuff. I was triggering him. I was causing him to want to fall into sexual sin. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because when I'm triggered, when I see certain things that makes me want to have sex, it triggers me. It makes me want to go for it too. And so I realized I wasn't being loving towards him. I wasn't setting him up for success. And you got to start thinking about your life in that way. Your job is to love people. It is denying your own selfish desires for the benefit of someone else, for the benefit of the situation, of a relationship, of a friendship, or anything like that. And so, yeah, I really started to really learn what true agape love was, which is unconditional love, which is God's love. And I didn't want him to fall into sexual sin. I didn't want him to continue to struggle with that thing. So I was like, you're right. I got to keep my clothes on. I have to protect not only my eyes, but the people's eyes around me. And let me just add this song, okay? Let me just throw this at you. Although I was learning sexual integrity so young and, in that relationship, throughout those years, what I learned was when you're addicted to something, you go through what people call withdrawal. So it's like you go up and down. You're craving it. You fall into it, then you get back up or get back out. This is what addicts go through. This is why some people have relapses and stuff like that. So while I'm like growing and learning, I'm having like relapses. I'm falling into or masturbating, and sometimes I may fall into a pornographic image and then I'll come back out, and it may not be all the time, but it would happen periodically. And this is something that I have to stay on guard with every day of my life because I'm on this journey just like you. And recently, last week, I had this what do you want to call it? God gave me more understanding, even more of my own personal walk when it comes to honoring God with my body and not giving into masturbation, not giving into sexual fantasies and all that stuff, which is more tense to come. But he told me, Brittany, you got to keep your clothes on even when nobody's around. What you mean by that? Okay, let me break it down for you. When I am tempted to masturbate, when I am tempted to dishonor my body and lie with the act of masturbation, because that is not an integrous or integral act, one of the things that I want to do is take my clothes off. And I'm like, I'm tired. I am tired of struggling with this. Why do I want to do this? And this is what God told me. The reason why you want to take your clothes off every time you are sexually aroused, every time those thoughts, like you let those thoughts sit in your mind, is because the devil is trying to get you to offer your body to him as a sacrifice. Listen. Romans 12:1 says, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, pleasing, and acceptable unto the Lord. That is your true and proper worship. Okay. We are called to use our bodies in a way that gives God glory, that puts him first, that exalts him in our life. And this is a whole biblical thing. If you go back to the Old Testament about sacrifices and offerings and stuff like that, which I'm still learning about, you'll realize the importance of a sacrifice. You'll realize the importance of giving your body or giving something to God. It is an act of worship. It is an act of saying, you are my God. And because of that, I'm giving this to you for your purpose, for your gain, for your, let's just say, for your purpose. Okay. And the devil knows that. So every time I got tempted, it was like I had an urge and a strong urge to just get naked, or a strong urge to just want to look at my body. And what the devil was doing was he's saying, yeah, give your body as an act of worship to me. So if I pursue masturbation, what I'm doing is I'm offering my body as a sacrifice of sin to the devil. Whatever you give your body to, that's saying I give my body to you in agreement. It's a way for the devil to keep you at his fingertips. It's a way for the devil to keep you in his hands, to be the top or the number one spirit in your life. One of the main ways he does that is when we offer our bodies to him as a sacrifice, which is crazy because all the devil does is copy God. If God tells us to do one thing, the devil will tell us to do the opposite. So instead of worshiping God, we'll worship him. Okay? So in my everyday life, I have to protect my own eyes. I have to protect my body because here's the thing. Every time I would get naked, because I am sexually aroused, it's like what happens in your body chemically and even spiritually, it puts a blinder over your eyes. And when you're sexually aroused, all you see is that pleasure. All you see is that desire to pursue that sexual thing. So what would happen is when I would get naked, I would see my own body and I wouldn't associate my body with myself because remind you, I was addicted to pornography for years. So pornography trained my eyesight on how I see a naked body. So when I would see my body naked, I would see those pornographic images. Crazy, ain't it? But that's how the enemy trains you. That's why it's so important to watch the images, because every image has a spirit attached to it. Okay. And so I would see my body naked and it would remind me of those sexual images, and I would instantly want to pursue pornography, or I would instantly want to pursue masturbation, which is an act of worship to God, to the devil. I'm sorry. An act of worship to the devil, sacrifice to the devil, a sin offering to the devil. Okay. Listen, it's real out here in these streets. So God was telling me, when you are tempted, when those thoughts come and it's hard to get those thoughts off, do not take your clothes off. Don't go hop in the shower, because when you take your clothes off, it's an easier access to get to your body to offer it to the devil or to fall into masturbation. So this is what you do. Wait for that high, that sexual high to calm down. Do something else to get your mind off of that. Wait for that to calm down, and then you can take your clothes off, or then you can go get in the shower, or then you can do whatever you got to do, because of course we're human. We have to get ready, we have to shower, we all do all that stuff, but don't do it when you're being tempted. So keep your clothes on for multiple reasons, but keep your clothes on. And let me free somebody right here, right now, because when I just explained to you when I see my naked body, it arouses me to go to pursue sex, to pursue illegal sex. That doesn't mean I'm attracted to women. Okay. There are a lot of people who, because they're attracted or they're sexually aroused by a woman's body, I'm talking to you, woman, you think that you're homosexual. You think that you are attracted to women. But let me tell you, what that is just a trigger. Because maybe you've been trained by pornography like I've been, when you see a woman's body, it tells your brain and it tells your body, ooh, pleasure, ooh, sex. So all the woman's body is a trigger for you to get to that sexual high, that orgasm in the end. That's what that is. That doesn't mean you are attracted to women. So I really want to free somebody right here, right now, who may be thinking that. Okay, you really may be thinking that. It's the mechanics of the body. Ain't that crazy? How we've been trained to see the woman's body in a sexual way and not as a human being. Yeah, Allow God into your space, your mental space, your heart, so that He can reprogram your mind, so that you can see sex in a healthy way and not objectify humans, specifically women, okay? To not objectify even your own body. So I pray right now for you who are watching, Lord, renew our minds and how we see the human body and how we see women. Help us, Lord, to worship you with our bodies, God, to worship you with our minds and our hearts, and no longer to offer our bodies as a sacrifice of sin to the devil. Help us right now. In Jesus' name, amen. I really hope this tip has been helpful for you. Come back. I am offering tips on how to pursue sexual integrity, how to win at sex, but how to pursue sexual integrity, because it's the same thing, you know. Every Friday here on my YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. I try my best to make sure that it is uploaded in at 1:30. So forgive me if it's a little late. Okay, I'm working on it. But yeah, I hope you are encouraged. Follow me at She Abundantly on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I have a whole website, sheabundantly.com, where you can get your entire life with a lot of encouraging content on God, love, sex, relationships, and some other good stuff in between. Listen, Queen, I've been working these last few years to set you up so that you can have a place where you can truly be encouraged, to truly get your life, and especially to pursue sexual integrity. So until next time, Queen, come back. There is more talk for us to have. All right. Peace.